only supplies, save for, of course, running into the fungal jungle and getting eaten by whatever manner of creatures live in there. I will, of course, try to make it clear that we are of a noble house. We should all act it. She looks to Rilinid. Keep an eye on my dear sister. I'll make sure she does not cause a fuss.
Rilinid slowly nods.
We cannot appear weak in this state. We must show them what we're made of.
At this point, it seems like the gathering has indeed happened, and you can certainly see the army being assembled, and not really supply workers, but some of the troops are sort of starting to gather up the supplies inside the supply tent. At this moment, Tarlin returns and salutes in front of Trislin. Mistress, the troops are beginning to gather as was ordered.
Trislin looks at him very serious in her face. Good. I will inform my sister when she arrives back, or when she comes back.
As you say, mistress. He salutes again and quickly sort of begins to hurry down the line to sort of straighten up the soldiers to look somewhat presentable at least.
And she looks back at Rain. That was so annoying. So when his sister...
It was just one sentence, my sister.
Yeah? Your point?
Never mind, of course you're right.
Anyway, so... Are there drug recruits standing behind us? Is the dog nodding to me?
Yes.
Can they hear us?
No, they're standing respectfully away from you.
So they can't hear us?
No.
Well, that's good. Thanks to Kari. Anyway, when is sister gonna come back? This is tiring.
Would you like me to see if I can go find her?
No.
Very well, we shall wait for her return.
I kind of wish I could do the explain.
At this point, Alauneari, Rilinid, and Zyn comes out from the supply cave.
Alauneari makes sure to walk in front.
Tristan looks at Alauneari and says in the same voice exactly what that dude told her.
Yes. Good. Sister,
Yeah.
you will stand back with Rilinid. Rain and Zyn, you will flank me as we speak to the troops.
But I'm a woman. I don't want to stand back there.
That is true. You should have... it is for your own safety, sister. You know I care so much for you.
Rilinid steps forward and extends a hand. Do not make a scene in front of the army, Trislin.
I wouldn't make a scene.
If something were to happen, it is important that there is another woman in the family to take over. She sort of gives a smile. Does not really let the... This is clearly a gesture.
Fine. Comes to Kari. What did you want me to stand here?
Sort of more like over here.
Where?
Like over here.
Over
in front of the slave, of course.
Behind the slave.
Front, expecting the two others to take their places.
But,
She walks forward, looking at Tarlin. Sergeant, are the troops gathered?
He's an idiot. Did we lose our call?
No.
No.
I think
We
just
didn't.
Jonas is now.
I'm here. Hello.
Okay. Hello, Jonas. How are you?
Sergeant.
It cut out for a second.
All right. Sergeant, are the troops gathered?
He salutes. Mistress, yes, the troops are ready to march.
Notes. Tell me, Sergeant, have you ever been under the direct command of a drowned noble before?
Something seems to, pass over his eyes, and then he straightens up. No, mistress, I have not. I never had that privilege.
Yes. Good, because this day your lives will change. She gives him a quick sort of what could be seen as a smile, but more a glare of satisfaction. She's currently enjoying her current position, and she's trying to appear very confident and very sort of as if this is something she does every day. Although she may seem a bit excited and in a good mood. She looks over the troops and speaks up. Soldiers. Sort of looks along the row. You are here under our command. You're here under the command of Alauneari Vytharia. Remember that name. You will need it. Speak to me and address me simply as Your Highness or Lord Vytharia. Today is your chance. Today is your chance to prove that you are Drow and not drizzling Durga licking spit off the boots of your masters. Let's look at them. You may think that this is a folly, that there's no way we could be going towards a victory. You may have looked at your equipment. You may know your own skill as well as we do. But know this. The Lady of Vathis has sent us on a mission she hopes we will fail. That is only because she does not know us. She speaks this romantically. You would say this is spoken from her heart. She really believes this. We cannot fail. We are not just destined to win. We have every advantage in our hand. We have with us Agaris, the demon lord of victory, power, and strength. Few will have heard of her power, but as soon as anyone thinks of deserting, I will show you just how real that power is. We have supplies for plenty of time, so do not fear. Your command will be given from Talin, your sergeant, and hopefully, he will do exactly as I tell him to. If I'm not around, you take your commands from Rae'nkalar. Sort of gestures to Rain. If he is not around, you wait for one of us to appear. I will have no form of criminal behavior in our ranks. This will be counted as desertion or an act against us. I know some of you have questionable backgrounds, but I'm willing to see past that if you perform admirably in the coming days. It will be some time before we see any actual battle action. And so, in the meantime, I would like, right now, who here knows how to hunt, to step forward.
There's a bit of silence as her voice rings out in the cave. And then a collection of the soldiers sort of step forward. You would count around 20 of them.
Right. Good. You will take what hunting equipment we have, and once our army stops marching south of the Lake of Diamonds, you will go scout, report on anything you find to the sergeant, and you will hunt the local wildlife for food. It is a good sport. Those of you who know how to do it will find some entertainment value, and hopefully the rest of you will enjoy well-made, fresh meals. None shall say that those who wish to cook shall do so. Only assume some of you have at least some skill in that area. You will report to the sergeant this evening and inspect what rations we have, and if you can use them in any way to make them last longer or make them taste more interesting. She looks out. Those who are able to do fishing work will, as the hunters, be marked down as such, and when we get to the Lake of Diamonds, you will make sure to use our equipment to see if we can catch anything in there. Of course, those who hunt, fish, or cook admirably will be noted, and know that if I learn your name, your future, even though it seems bleak, can turn grand in a moment.
Several seems to appreciate this.
Those who do not have these skills, you may possess others. Perhaps you're excellent at battle. Perhaps you are good at curating wounds. Perhaps you are good at weaving. Whatever you can do, said the sergeant, when we arrive at the lake, I would like everyone to put their skills to best possible use.
The sergeant salutes.
An army is not only soldiers, it is logistics. She looks at them, as that seems to be her final words. Now we shall march to the Lake of Diamonds. There we shall have camp.
The sergeant nods, salutes, turns around, and basically whips them into shape as the army starts moving out.
She looks to the others. Actually, everyone, even Trislin. She says, keep your eyes on these soldiers. If you see someone do something notable, ask what their name and tell me the story. It is important that we get some people we can trust in this group, and hopefully some who make note of themselves can stand out and show others that we do reward greatness. We wish to have good examples.
And we should, of course, look for spies, right?
I do not think any spies would have been sent with us, since the chance of their survival would be rather small. For now as well, we will not disclose our plans, our ultimate plans, to the soldiers. They will do their task, and when they have done that, we will give them another one. There will be nothing to report back on. If you see desertions or criminal behavior, punish it harshly. Good examples should be followed by bad examples of what happens to those who disobey. Eventually, someone will. Hopefully this matter is dealt with before they need to.
Understood.
She looks to all of you. Anything I have forgotten to say? Do you have any comments? Any ideas?
You
Now is the
did
time
well,
to speak.
sister.
She sort of nods and says, that, of course, is true, as always. She then nods. Good. And sort of makes ready to leave with the soldiers marching in front.
And you did plan to take the army to here, right? To the southern
Yes.
entrance.
That is the plan.
The southern shore.
That
of
should
the
keep
lake
us out of the range of Festival, give us fishing and hunting opportunities, and hopefully it is a very pretty location. It can also help raise morale a bit.
It takes some time to move an army down here. These tunnels are broader, but they are not cleared like the Dark Road is. As such, it takes some time to move around the army here. Count 1 day to traverse 1 hex with the army.
All right. And you said we had 30 days worth of provisions?
Yes.
All right. Well, if it takes so long to move, perhaps we can send scouts out ahead of us to see if we can hunt some game.
Yes. Zyn can do a knowledge nature check or survival.
Since for him to lead.
Can I choose? Or
Yes, you
matter
can
which
pick one.
I will use survival.
Zyn would know that there is not too much edible usually in these tunnels. Whatever is down here are actually bound to be quite dangerous. The usual sort of foraging food is something akin to like moss and lichen on the cavern walls.
Then we'll mention that to Alauneari.
It is
sure she knows.
it is something to sort of pad out some of the food, but it is not. You will still need to sort of eat up the consume resources as you travel. There simply isn't enough food for 100+ drow.
All right.
Looks like it'll take 7-8 days to move us to Hex 416 then.
Yeah. But there, perhaps, she'll actually ask Zyn if he thinks there would be any value in the fishing and the hunting that'll be done as anything but a way to basically motivate the soldiers to not be idle.
Would they know that? If fishing makes sense?
If there's
And
any
hunting, I
hunting
guess?
to be gotten.
Hunting in the tunnels is usually a fool's errand. Fishing in the Lake of Diamonds, perhaps. As far as he knows, there are certainly like wildlife in the lake.
Well, that's a good thing. And the hunting will still keep them on their toes. Perhaps they can catch something, anything really. And yeah, well, I suppose we make our way.
Let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9. On the 9th day, you arrive in the Lake of Diamonds.
Cut our food down to 21 days. There we go. Yes. Does anything occur? Anything notable?
Not really. You march through the tunnels. It is generally a smooth march south. There is a slight mumble of the among the soldiers of exactly where you're going and why, but everyone seems to be marching along.
How's the discipline of the soldiers? Are they like trying to be professional, or are they just like rebel?
They are trying to be as professional as they can, especially if one of you are watching them. But you certainly get the feeling that once your eyes turn elsewhere, they revert to something much more common.
Alauneari will ask the others that either Zyn or Rilinid to be close to her at all possible times. While she'll actually ask Rain and Triss to make themselves visible in the army. She wants the soldiers to know that we're invested in this and we're not just sort of hoarding up. We're a part of the army, if you will. And she wants them to know that. And who better this than the strong warrior and her sister, who is after all female.
And very pretty.
That is true.
So pretty.
Graham will nod and by your command.
That was my headset. I'm sorry, but I can't do anything about that. It's okay for me.
Surprise, viewers!
Good news. Good news, everyone.
Robo Sheep is here.
Next time we just ignore it so viewers think it's something with your computer.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, it's burning down.
What's going on? Oh well.
Yes, Graham will, as Alauneari asked, make himself quite visible.
Alright, you can move to the hex of the Lake of Diamonds.
What does this site look like?
Yes. When you enter the Lake of Diamonds, you quickly realize that this vast cavern is a natural wonder. Everywhere is gigantic quartz crystals. They erupt from the walls, the ceiling. They hang like delicate diamond chandeliers from every wall. And the floor of the cavern is filled with a Yule clear lake. A little wind moves through the cavern, and the face of the lake seems calm to your eyes, like a great mirror. As splendid as this lake is to normal sight, its true beauty is appreciated via the dark vision of the drow. The crystals radiate a pale violet, several shades beyond the normal visible spectrum. Soft electric arcs dance amid the crystalline to create a spectacular light show. You also notice that large white crickets seem to move in like not packs but swarms over the lake. They are also sort of pearly and almost luminescent in the darkness. They seem to feed off the sort of electric arcs that dance among the crystals, and they spread a low, eerie hum that seems to sort of radiate and reverberate throughout every crystal in the cavern. It's like a haunting music that fills the entire place. Many of the soldiers seems to be quite awestruck by this sort of massive natural wonder that stands before them, and many seem to completely forget that who they are and why they are here until the good sergeant sort of shouts at them to look alive and stuff.
Yes. I will smile and tell Tarlin to make camp here, and again to begin looking at the different skills we have represented here and make sure that they're all put to good use.
He nods. Yes, of course, mistress. He once again seems to want to say something, but seems unsure.
She looks at him. What is on your mind?
Pardon me, mistress, but this place, he sort of motions at the cavern of the Lake of Diamonds. I have heard rumors about it. Some of the in the commoners' camp, have told stories that this place is haunted.
Alauneari will look to Rilinid.
Haunted.
You can make a knowledge local check.
Okay. Let's go ahead and use the good old trait, and let's throw 2d20 on that motherfucker. That's a 22, and that's a 26.
Rilinid seems to recall that yes, there have been some rumors of the Lake of Diamonds. Nothing really substantiated, although hunters and foragers and rangers from Vothis have disappeared close to the Lake of Diamonds at times. It is unknown exactly, if they ran into Dwergar or gnomes or some sort of beast. But it has given the frequency of these lost patrols around this area have given the lake a sort of a sinister reputation at times. He also knows that the deep gnomes are rumored to view this place as somewhat of, cursed or haunted.
Rilinid will actually step quickly forward. The stone mask, of course, dead set in like this frame of neutrality, and say, "Haunted is that, Sergeant, and what do you think?"
He swallows of being so, approached by one of the lords, and he says, I think it is superstition, of course, my lord."
"I would not say it is superstition, Sergeant, although haunted is the inappropriate term. You know as well as I how scarce food is here in the Azafir. There are undoubtedly predators with whom we ourselves may be unfamiliar. Keep large groups and post lights, for as you know, although we do not require them for our hunting, perhaps it would lure any other predator into a false sense of security, thinking that dealing with your light sources could easily disable your men."
He salutes. "As you say, my lord, it will be done."
And
Alauneari nods.
please, if any of your men do learn more about these supposed hauntings. He actually lowers down a bit more, and like the stone mask just curls upward a little bit. "I would like to meet him."
He nods. "Yes, my lord."
Leaning back. "Thank you."
He swallows and salutes. "Then, by your leave, my lords, I will organize the troops and set camp."
Alauneari nods. You have leave.
As he quickly disappears among the men.
So she looks to Rilinid. "I know it is of bad taste to ask his opinion, but he does not hide it well."
"No, he does not, but really, would you like for him to be able to disguise it so well?"
He smiles and shakes his head. "Of course not. It is good to know what the soldiers think. Whether it is true or not, of course, is a completely different matter. If they think it is, then we got that to be used to our advantage. Are there anyone else but our soldiers who think this place is haunted?" She looks to Rilinid.
"The deep gnomes do not frequent this locale, it is said, for they too think it is haunted." He shrugs. "Personally, I think it is nothing but a predator that the fools, both on our side and theirs, are incapable of pinpointing."
Alauneari nods. Says, "I suspected as much. Perhaps bringing a few crystal formations from this place could serve as a threat or in some way be useful when we get to Vestervold. We bring with us bad spirits, and we intend to leave them there unless we gain something. Not by us, of course, but by our army."
Rilinid shrugs and says, "It is possible that such a thing could be done. However, if we 5 are to march in there ourselves and offer threats, the alternative would be that we are mobbed and surrounded by a bunch of pick-wielding angry gnomes."
She shakes her head. "Of course we would not bring them with us. As I said, if we bring them, it will be with the entirety of our army."
Perhaps then.
And it will be if it is necessary. It was but a thought, nothing we should consider yet.
Rilinid nods.
Then now, what orders should we give the army as we continue onwards? They might have to be here for a few days. If something happens, panic could spread.
Rilinid does some math in his head and says, "It is possible that we would be leaving them alone for 2 weeks."
That is a long time.
Yes. Well, the sergeant has proven himself capable thus far, and considering his skill set, perhaps not the best to... He would not be the one most likely to disobey you. I think he will be sufficient, following the same tasks of maintaining morale.
If we take 2 weeks, however, will we have enough food to make our way with the army to festivals?
Zyn would actually, calculate that if there is a modicum of, fish, or if you start perhaps hunting the locust, there should be sort of enough available. That is, of course, depending on how intense the hunting and gathering is, to add maybe a week or two to the supplies. Sort of, if every day you sort of, what do you call it in English? You
Forage?
no, but you add to the iron rations to make them last longer, basically. So everyone gets like half iron rations, and then you get half a fish.
You're supplementing the food.
Yeah, supplementing. Yes, thank you.